What's going on, guys? It's me, Junlana Fan HC here, and today we have another Aviation Memorabilia Haul video for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for today's video. I'm super excited to get back into this video series again, and we got really awesome memorabilia to take a look at. Now, before we begin, you can already tell that the setup looks very different than normal. Currently, as this recording, I'm actually at a Airbnb unit here in Tacoma, Washington. I'm currently staying in the Seattle area for this weekend and kind of leading into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I decided to bring this along so I can do this video for you all. So I'm not sure how many times I'll be recording, but I think this is kind of the main thing I do want to record. I'm not sure if I'll also be doing something else in Seattle, but I do want to make this now because I do believe we have some other plans me and my family are going to be doing throughout this stay. But I'm just super excited to do this video for you all, another Aviation Memorabilia Haul video, and this will be on the memorabilia items I got from the 2025 San Francisco One-Day Airline Collectable Show on March 2025. So yeah, second time I attended an SFO show, and if you haven't seen the experience video, then I go over details on those. But we're gonna get into the segments where I show you guys all the items I got from the show. So I know it's been a few months since the SFO show, and I think we're about to approach the second show on September 20th. But I do want to get this video out, and then probably once I come home, I'll do mass unboxing on the models I got. So, but other than that, I'm just super excited to get into this. We got some amazing items to take a look at. So without being said, here is the whole memorabilia item. So these are just memorabilia items. There are no models in there, but that's gonna be saved during the mass unboxing. But I got some amazing stuff to show you to you guys, and yeah, really excited to pick up these items. There are safety cards, one safety card. There were also some postcards. There were also some other memorabilia items. I did not get any timetables this time. Probably some miscellaneous as well. But other than that, I'm just super excited to get into this. So without being said, let's get started with the first memorabilia item, and we're gonna proceed from the other memorabilia items. I think I do want to start off with small to big. So without being said, let's get started. Alright, and let's get started with the memorabilia haul. Now, I did say that I was going to start with smallest to biggest, but I do want to start off with the flyers first, since I believe that that's pretty much the first thing I got from the collectible show. The flyers. And usually the flyers, you can just get them for free, and it doesn't matter how many you get. For as long as you get a lot, you can get many of them. So let's get started with the San Francisco Airline Collectable Show flyer for the September show, which will be on September 20th, 2025. So this will be the 41st semi-annual San Francisco Airline Collectible Show and sale. It starts on Saturday, September 20th, 2025, same time, 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. as for the March show, and it'll be held at the exact same hotel, the Best Western Plus Ghost Vendor Airport Hotel. And of course, if you ended up booking a hotel there, then you get a special room rate. So this will be the summer, or I can say just the fall 2025 show. And here's the backside. So nothing to go over. You have the general admission for only $8. Children under 12 are free. And yeah, for next year's show, which will be the next spring show, that'll be on March 7th of 2026. So save this date for you guys. So yeah. And as you can pretty much see, remember on how I talked about on how you could get as many flyers as you want? Well, let's just say I got many, because yes. So yeah, I don't know how many these are, I'll say, but yeah, these are all the flyers for the September 20th show. But yeah, that's a lot of flyers right there. So those are the flyers for the SFO show. Let me just stack them and then put them there. Next flyer I do want to showcase to you guys is, of course, a convention that I'm just super excited. And as of this month, it's only 2 weeks away or a week away? But that's Airliners International 2025 in Atlanta, Georgia, the world's largest airline collectible show and airline history conference. That'll be on June 25th to the 28th of 2025, and it'll be held at the Delta Flight Museum. So if you have seen the announcement that I did, yes, I'll be attending Airlines International 2025 in Atlanta. This will be the 48th year, and overall, I'm super excited to return to Atlanta after my first time being there last year for Airlines International 2024 in Kansas City. So here's the back side of the flyer right there. So super excited to do this convention for you all, and yeah, really nice to attend this airlines convention, the Airlines International Convention, for the third time in a row. Of course, my first one being in Dallas, my second one in Kansas City, and this year will be my third one here in Atlanta, Georgia. And honestly, because of this, I do got a bunch of stacks, so I will have to let's say just stack and hand this out to various other local people who are interested in this convention. So yeah, a lot of stacks for the SFO show for September 20th and Airlines International 2025, because those are two big events. The next flyer, now this one has already happened, but this is the Seattle Airport 2025 Aviation Expo that was held in April 6th from 10 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. and it's held at the Museum of Flight, which is kind of like, it's not a far drive from here to Tacoma, but yeah, I decided to get this because it's held in Seattle, and unfortunately I did not attend. Well, of course, I did not attend this collectible show, but as you can see, here's the back. We show you all of the other collectible shows. Of course, Airlines International, there's the LAX show, San Francisco show is right there, and the Vancouver show. So really nice on how they were able to get all the other shows right there. But yeah, this is a thing from the past now, but I do like the flyer. My buddy Lucas did attend this show, and he got some amazing pictures. The next flyer I do want to show you guys are two of the LAX Airline Collectable Show and sale that will be held on August 16th of 2025 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the LAX show, this will be the summer show. They did held a winter show in February 1st of 2025, so this will be the second show of the year. And yeah, kind of like the same deal as what they had on the previous flyer for the winter show. It'll be held at the Embassy Suites by Hilton at the LAX South, which I think that's close to the Clutters Park, if I would take a guess. It's somewhere around there. So this is the flyer right there. You get a special room rate as well. So yeah, that's the flyer for the LAX show. So once again, that's going to be held on August 16th of 2025. So you have a couple of more months from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and it'll be held at the MC Suites by Hilton, south of the LAX airport. Not sure where I can place this, but I'll just place it there for the meantime. And the last flyer I do want to show you guys is the World Airline Historical Society flyer. And I think this was placed at the Mini Slimmerville table where Chris Slimmer sells his aviation memorabilia items. But yeah, here is the flyer for the WAS, World Airline Historical Society. And yeah, just all your stuff right there. There's your bullet points. The premier organization of its kind in the world. And then here is the back side, which is kind of like a really interesting back. You got like a checklist, a membership checklist. So this is how you can apply for WAS and become a membership. So yeah, that's it for the flyers right there. Overall, a nice stack of flyers for pretty much needs, but overall really nice to have these. And yeah, of course these two are really important. I'm planning on giving these out to a lot of people, but as for the Seattle show and the LX show, I just want to keep them alongside the World Airline Historical Society. I think I have a similar flyer to this, but I believe I already I think it's still there, but yeah. So really nice to get another duplicate of that. But yeah, those are all the flyers. Let's move on to some more aviation member items, and we're gonna proceed with the business cards. So with that being said, let's get into the business cards. The next items we'll be taking a look at are some business cards. Now, I got a total of 4 business cards from the Collectable Show, and let's get started with a company or a retailer that I kind of saw before, but I decided to get some malls from there again, and that's going to be Plainly Speaking. Now, as mentioned before, I think Plainly Speaking, they have some really good models, from rare NG models to a couple of Phoenix and some Gemini jets. So as you can see, you can visit their website at www.plainlyspeaking.com. There's their telephone number and their fax number. Brian Ward, who is the owner of this retailer. Airline Collecting Made Affordable. So yeah, I think from this retailer, I got the Malaysia A350 and the Delta A350 from the September show of 2024. So decided to purchase some models from this retailer again, and you'll find out what models I got from the upcoming mass unboxing from this collectible show. The next business cards, well, I do have 2 business cards with me, and those are going to be the business cards from JoJo's Airline Emporium. Now, if I can remember correctly, I think this retailer sells various dishes spoon and forks and other memorabilia items from different airlines, whether it be United, like old United Airlines, Delta Airlines, Hawaiian, and yeah, I think I got a couple of retailer, like a couple of memorabilia items. So I do have one with me, and I'm gonna be going over that throughout the video. And I think, yeah, they also sell some models, but I did came across a model that had a really great deal from this retailer, and overall, I think that has got to be one of my best mall plane pickups I ever did. As you can see, so here is their business card. You got their name, JoJo's Airline Emporium. You got their eBay page right there, and then you also have a Pinterest page as well, which I think Pinterest is kind of like more of like a art, kind of like a, you know, like you share art on that app. So I believe, I'm not sure why he has that too. You can see their email right there. They're based out of Reno, Nevada, and then you can see their phone number to text them. And yeah, once again, I got two, so I'll probably like just set them aside like this. Now the last business card that I have is from Jack Greenbaum, and I kind of forgot on what his what he has on his table, but you can see his phone number right there, and then his email. You can email him at aircollectedjack@gmail.com. I kind of forgot on what he sells. I don't know if it's like models or other memorabilia items like postcards or something. I kind of just get it, but I kind of like forgot that's on top of my head on what he sells. But yeah, that's his business card right there. Nothing really too simple. It's just like a brown background, and then you have some black text, and yeah, that's basically it. You don't really have anything much other than his phone number and Gmail. So yeah, that's it for all the business cards right there. So yeah, just 4 business cards, nothing really too much. I didn't get as many, but yeah, you got all their business cards right there. And overall, I'm really glad to have these. I will most likely be buying more from Plainly Speaking and JoJo's Airline Emporium if they have some really good stuff there. So yeah, but other than that, those are all the business cards. Now let's move on to I'm gonna save some others for later, but we're gonna get some really interesting stuff from Cali Planes. So I got some stickers from them. So without being said, let's move on to the next clip so I can go over the memorabilia items I got from Cali Planes. The next items we'll be diving into are some stickers from Cali Planes. Now, I did met Sal, who is like, I think he's the one responsible for all the live streams he does at SFO Airport, and he was a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy. He's really friendly, I gotta say, so it's really nice to meet Sal in person. I recently have been watching Cali Planes' live streams since like I think late November of 2024, and overall he does provide like nice shots of like SFO coverage. So I was able to get some stickers from him since he has a table. So let me go over these. So I do have a couple. So here is one of the stickers, SFO, home of Gary the Gopher. If you're curious on what Gary the Gopher is, he's like, I think from what I can understand, he's like a gopher that would sometimes appear on his live streams. I think from where his setup is, there's like a gopher that's close to him, close to his setup, and he would sometimes refer to him as Gopher or Gary the Gopher. Here's some more stickers of Gary the Gopher if I can try to like arrange them. Here's another one. This one is him being a TSA agent, so these illustrations are really cute. And this one is him being as a pilot. The next one I do want to show you is, I guess that's like an ATC controller right there. So again, it's a really cute illustration. And then I also have his logo as well. So here is Cali Planes' logo. So you can follow him on YouTube. And I would highly recommend doing so because he provides some amazing, SFO content. Like SFO plane spotting live stream content. And then here is another famous line from him, line up wait. Yeah, I think from what I can understand about this line, I think it's like a famous quote from him that he would say whenever like there's a plane that's lining up in the runway. But yeah, here is the line up wait. There's also Aviation on Radar as well. Now I think because he was also partnering with Aviation on Radar, and I did got like a postcard from him and 2 stickers. So here is Aviation on Radar, on the radar in this case, and then you can see at the back, welcome to Aviation on the Radar, and then you can see the description so you could pause and read. But what Aviation on the Radar is, they mostly provide like live ATC coverages, mostly in San Francisco International Airport, but they can also do it on San Jose, possibly LAX, but it's mostly the airports that are in California, but they mostly do it in San Francisco International. And here is their sticker right there. And I would recommend following Aviation on the Radar if you want to listen to some live SFO ATC coverage. And for the last item from Cali Planes, I also got a lanyard, which I think it does look very nice. So you can see their California bear, the logo in this case, you can see Cali Planes, and then you can see YouTube and the subscribe button. So again, I would highly recommend subscribing to Cali Planes if you want to look at some famous SFO ATC or SFO plane spotting content. But those are all of the items I got from Cali Planes and Aviation on Radar. And shout out goes to Sal and Aviation on the Radar because like they truly deserve the praise from everybody from the aviation community. So it's really nice to have these items from them, and overall looking forward to probably like display them at some point, like display some of these in like my camera bag or something. But overall, it's really nice to have these for my memorabilia collection. The next memorabilia items we'll be taking a look at are some, well, I guess you can say some paper prints. Now I did get two. Now depending on how much you get, I think you can get $5 for $10, or say $10 to $5, or like I think it's $5 to $10. I think $10 for $20. So the prices for these aren't really that bad. They're kind of like cheap. Like I think if you get one, that's like $1. But overall, I think or maybe like $1 or $2 depending on like the price. But I got some really cool paper prints right here. I only got one for myself, but I also got one that I'm going to be sending to somebody. So, without being said, let's get started with the one that I got for myself, which is this Hawaiian Airlines paper print. Now, this is like their older logo before they went into like the Polani logo, the lady on the tail. Now, yeah, this is like the older logos, and honestly, I really like it. And yeah, given the fact that I work for Hawaiian, I decided to get some Hawaiian Airlines memorabilia. Now, I think recently I have been collecting more Hawaiian memorabilia, but same goes for like United Airlines memorabilia, since I think they're kind of neck and neck with each other. I get dozens of Hawaiian memorabilia and dozens of United memorabilia, but since I work for this airline, I decided to like get more Hawaiian Airlines memorabilia. So it's a really nice logo back then. So they got the bird and the ATL titles, and then you got the italicized Hawaiian Airlines logo. Now I think they would mainly use this for their turboprop planes, all their propeller planes they used during like the 30s before they, they went to the jet age. So overall, it's a really nice logo for Hawaiian, and yeah, really nice to have this for myself. Now, as for the other one, this is actually going to be going to someone that I know on YouTube. Now, I asked him if he wanted this, and he said, "Are you going to buy it for me, or are you going to give it to me?" And I said yes, but I did get a North Central Airlines paper sticker. Now, this is actually not for me. Of course, I heard of North Central Airlines, but this is actually be going to JJ Aviation because he is a big fan of North Central Airlines. He pretty much has the entire North Central Airlines fleet in 1:1 scale, which is the first of any collector to achieve this. So I decided to give this to him, and yeah, JJ, if you're seeing this, then this is for you, and hope you enjoy it because this is a really awesome print. You got Herman the Duck right there, Route of the Northern, so there's Herman the Duck, and then you can see the title, Route of the North Lines. So really cool right there, and yeah, I think JJ Aviation is gonna really enjoy this. So that's for you right there. And overall, really nice picks. Again, it's just two, but of course I have one for myself, and that North Central is gonna be for JJ. So yeah, maybe I might try to get more during the second show for the summer, but we'll see. But who knows? But only time will tell. So yeah, those are all the paper prints right there. Let's move on to my favorite, which is the postcards. So I'm super excited to get into that. I got dozens of postcards that I would say are my favorites. So without being said, let's dive into the postcards. Alright, now let's get into some postcards. Now, as mentioned before, I got dozens of postcards that I collected from the SFO show, and many of them have got to be my favorites. So before I get started, now from some vendor tables that I came across, I think there was one table that I can take as many postcards as I want, and I basically got them for free, which those were really great deals right there. Getting postcards for free, that's really amazing. Either way, like, many of these postcards don't really cost that much as small planes. They mainly cost about like $2, $3, but if you get like 10, you get $5, you get some really good deals on these postcards. So yeah, I got some postcards right here, so let's get started. So the first postcards I do want to show you guys is an airline that used to exist, but they ceased operations somewhere around the 1980s. So here we go. So this is like the airline that would mainly, like these regional airlines, they would mainly operate within the area. So let's get started with our first airline, which is Hughes Air West. Now I decided to get Hughes Air West because they're actually based out of San Francisco. They do have a hub there, and mainly Hughes Air West would like operate mainly DC-9s, but they would like operate some 727s and some Fairchilds. But they used to operate some planes like the C-47 back in the 70s, and so on, some other aircrafts in their fleet. So here is a picture of a Hughes Air West Douglas DC-9. Really cool aircraft right there, November 9335, I think that's the registration of that plane. And I do have a 727 right here. So here is their 727 right here. And then here's the backside of the DC-9. It says, hang on. Okay, so it says, Sundance Yellow makes this Hughes Air West Super DC-9 jet flash like a streak of sunlight across the skies of the West. Really nice description right there. And of course here is the backside of the 727. So this is a 727-200 variant on this postcard right here. And maybe I might try to get a Hughes Air West model because of that. But yeah, Hughes Air West were a really interesting airline in the Bay Area. So I decided to get these. So really cool to have some Hughes Air West memorabilia in my collection. The next memorabilia cards, or the postcards I do want to show you guys, are some United Airlines postcards. Now, of course, with me being a United lover, I do like having some United. So here is a Battleship Gray Boeing 747-400. I do actually like this picture because there's like the water reflected, you know, on like how I see on Instagram where you have a plane and then you can like, there's like water at the bottom, so it has the reflection of the airplane at the bottom. That's really cool right there. And the Battleship Gray livery on the 744 does look very nice on this. So yeah, looking very nice right there. Next up, we do have a United Airlines Douglas DC-10-10. This is in the airline Saltbass livery, and I know it's grayscale, so this picture did not have any color at that time, but it's still like the Saltbass livery. And United had an interesting operation with the DC-10 back then. Speaking of DC-10, here's their DC-10. I'm not sure what registration, like what aircraft this is, whether it be a DC-10 or DC-10-30 or a DC-10-10, but the aircraft registration is November 1847 uniform, and I do like the tail on the DC-10 right there. So yeah, this is another Saltbass DC-10 right there. Next up, I do want to give you guys some Delta Airlines memorabilia. Of course, like, excuse me. So with Delta Airlines being 100 years, I decided like to get some Delta Airlines memorabilia for you guys. So here is a Delta L1011-1 TriStar, or maybe some other L1011, but this is the longer variant. So of course, with the Delta widget livery on the L1011, it does look very nice on this aircraft. And yeah, really nice to have some more Delta L1011 pictures. I think I have some before, like on some previous collectible shows, but I do like this picture of the Delta L1011 since it is in the sky. Next postcard for Delta I do want to show you guys is a bunch of Delta tails. So you have a 737 tail. I'm guessing that could be a 737-200. There's also a Delta DC-9, and there's an L1011 as well. I'm guessing this could be an Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson from seeing all the various like Delta planes, like the numerous Delta planes that are in ATL. So really cool right there. Next up, we have I'm guessing this is like a 767-200, still in the widget livery. There's nothing showing on the back, but I'd assume this could be a Delta 762 or a Delta 763. I'm guessing that could be a 767-300, judging by the lengths. I'm not really quite sure if I'm correct on that one, but from what I can see in the length, it's a Delta 767-300. I might be wrong, who knows, but yeah, there's a Delta 767 that has landed at this airport. And of course, I do want to get this one because the livery does look very nice. The widget livery looks very nice on this aircraft, but we do have a Delta Airlines Douglas DC-10. Now, Delta with the DC-10s had a really interesting history, as these were actually acquired before they had the L1011 because they were kind of like concerned about Rolls-Royce since they're kind of like at the urge of bankruptcy at that time. So I think it has to do with the troubles with the Rolls-Royce Pratt & Whitney PW2000 engines. So Delta acquired these L10 DC-10s before the situation gets handled. Luckily, the situation was handled for Rolls-Royce and Delta acquired the L1011, but that's not the end of like the DC-10s with Delta, as they also acquired these when they merged with Western Airways. So Delta had some DC-10s back in the 70s. They had the Delta Alpha registration prefix, but then when they merged with Western somewhere around 1987, they acquired these again and operate them not really too long, unlike the previous ones. I think they operated from 1987 to 1988 for these ex-Western DC-10s. So yeah, and looking at the registration, you have November 9913 Whiskey Alpha, which is a former Delta or a former Western DC-10. So that aircraft is acquired by Delta. Not sure where to place the DC. I think I'll just place the DC-10 somewhere up there. So yeah. The other two postcards I do have are some other airlines that I decided to get. So here is a PSA 727 right there. Looking very nice. It's just a front shot. Now similar to the United DC-10, this also was grayscaled. So yeah, not much on color, but this is a PSA 727, which of course PSA being like a well-known Californian airline, and yeah, based out of San Diego, not San Francisco. I'm just referring to Hughes Air West again. And of course, as mentioned before, since I work for this airline, I do want to get a Hawaiian Airlines Lockheed L1011 TriStar because I actually do like the livery on this L1011 on this aircraft. It's in the older Hawaiian Airlines livery. It might be all white, but you got some really nice colors that represents Hawaii, and overall it does look very nice. And as you can see on the tail, there's the lady on the tail, the logo itself. So really nice. Now I also got some international postcards as well. Now these are just for like, I just want to get them. So this first one is a Japan Airlines Boeing 747. I'm guessing that's a 747-200. So the reason why I want to get this is because I think this is in San Francisco, from what I know. From looking at the picture, this looks like the San Francisco waterfront. So you got the 28 runways. I think the aircraft is taken off on 28 left, if I were to take a guess. But yeah, really cool. It's in JAL's older livery when they used to operate some 747s. So really nice. I know there's some postcards that I kind of like they're kind of like not showing the picture for the entire frame. Next up, I'm guessing this is from Hong Kong International from what I can look at it, from judging by the scenery, but this is a really cool picture right there. You have a China Eastern ND90, there's a Philippine Airlines 747-400 in the background, there's a Xiamen Airlines, that's a 757-200, and some other Asian airlines. Hong Kong International is a really interesting airport, and hopefully I could try to visit there whenever I go to Asia or whenever I go to the Philippines soon. And this other postcard, this is some kind of like random postcard, but here is a Herpa Miniature Models DC-3. Not sure why Herpa decided to acquire a DC-3, but it's really cool anyway. And Herpa Models is a model manufacturer, so me collecting models and looking at some really cool retro aviation, I decided to get that. And here is the description at the back. You can pause and read. It kind of shows you the description of this DC-3, November 143 Delta, and yeah, a lot of history about this particular aircraft. Now this last postcard, this is kind of like random, but I decided to get this since this is from my home country, the Philippines. This is a Lufthansa postcard of Manila. So as you can see the scenery. I'm guessing this could be Quezon City because like there's different cities a part of Metro Manila, and of course one of the famous transportations in the Philippines is the jeepney. So you have this picture and you have the description right there. And here is the backside. Lufthansa magazine right there. So overall, that's all the postcards. A lot of postcards, I gotta say. So here's like a rundown of them. Wow, these are really, really cool to have for my postcard collection. And overall, I got some really great picks and some great deals as well. Whew, we're about like 10 minutes of this recording, but kind of like 20 minutes of this video. So yeah, I think a lot of them has like a lot of recordings has to be from the postcards. But overall, really nice handful of postcards, and I'm really glad to have these for my postcard collection. Now let's move on to some United memorabilia. Now I got some really cool United memorabilia, and then yeah, we're gonna go through them one by one, and hopefully I have enough recording to do so. Like I'm trying to make sure that I don't run out of storage, but hopefully I can try to get into these United memorabilia as quick as I can while explaining to them thoroughly. So with that being said, let's move into some United memorabilia. Alright, now let's move on to some United Airlines memorabilia. Now, I only got 2 from the Collectables show, and honestly, I got some really good deals on these. So, let's get started with my first one, which is going to be this interesting piece. Now, 2 of them I actually got from the JoJo Collectables, you know, like the JoJo retail store, or the retail, like the vendor table that sold like various like airline memorabilia. Well, I got a few memorabilia items for them. So we're gonna get started with this one. This is kind of like an oddball. This is the San Francisco cable car tickets for United. This is for 1964 first class. And it's just $12, which is not really that bad, but it just shows some like tickets for like the cable cars. Now, I'm not sure if, as of today, the cable cars in San Francisco cost money or something, but this is kind of like a one-way ticket to like the San Francisco cable cars, which is quite interesting. I gotta say, it's kind of like an oddball, but this is kind of like it's kind of like more for first class passengers. So quite interesting on how I have these. And of course, these are pretty much defunct since this is like more of the what is this, 60s first class. So yeah, these could be like, these won't be active anymore. Another thing I got from the JoJo store is this butter bowl for United Airlines. Now I think this is like the modern United Airlines from what I can understand. This is just $4, which is not bad of a price, but I think once I open it, I think it just shows like just like this thing itself, like the butter bowl itself. So as I take this out, here it is. Now I'm guessing this could be where I could just like place some butter, and yeah, nothing too special about it. It's just like a simple cup, and then at the bottom you can see the United Airlines logo. But I'm assuming this could be from the United Airlines products you see today. So really, it's kind of like, it'll be useful if I want to like put some butter, if I were like eat something that requires butter, like crabs and some other things. But yeah, I decided to get these. So yeah, nothing too much. I thought it'll be like a cool accessory for like outside things, you know, like some like eating dinner in that case. But yeah, really nice to have these. Well, I have this. Might see if I could try to get more at the SFO show. The last time I got this was the United Express, it was like the mug for United. I forgot the brand, but it's something like a United Express, something like this, or Shuttle by United. Yeah, Shuttle by United. It was the Shuttle by United mug. That's the item I got from that JoJo store. So yeah, really nice to also have this one too. But this one is the United Airlines butter bowl. Anyway, so that's that. The next United Airlines memorabilia item I do want to get, this is kind of more of an appeal thing, but I do got a United Airlines cap because I just think I never had a United Airlines cap before. I got a Hawaiian Airlines cap, which I just got back in like March. Like I got that hat back in March, but mainly I would have a Boeing hat mostly. I don't know if I have any more hats other than the Hawaiian and Boeing hat. But I do want to get a United Airlines hat because yes. But overall, like, it does look very nice, as you can see. I think this, yeah, I also got this from the JoJo store. So it's a 2019 baseball cap that's just worth $20. So not bad of a price, but it's a really nice offering, I gotta say, for if ever I would like take this out. Like if I were to go on a hot day, I would use this. Or if I attend like an aviation event, then I can use this United Airlines hat, which in this case, Airlines International 2025. I think I might wear that hat when I go to airliners, so hopefully you can see me with that United Airlines hat. But overall, really nice to have this. And overall, it's a nice piece of my hat collection, my airline hat collection. So yeah, that's the United Airlines hat. But I do want to separate this video from the different one because I do want to save this one for last. It's something that I've been wanting to get for a very long time. It is a safety card, so this will be, well actually this is going to be a separate video. So anyway, this is some memorabilia items for United Airlines, but I just got one more United Airlines video and I'm going to be having a separate video on that because this is a safety card I've been wanting to have, and overall I'm really glad to have this one for my United Airlines memorabilia collection. So without being said, let's move on to the next video clip to see what that memorabilia item is. And the last piece for my United Airlines memorabilia and this Aviation Memorabilia Haul is gotta be a safety card that I've been wanting to have for this particular airline, for this particular aircraft. And honestly, when I saw this from one table, I decided to get this. I always been dreaming of having this, honestly. And yeah, overall, this is a really good pick, and I decided to get this because this is one of my favorite aircraft, which is gonna be the United Airlines Boeing 787-8-9 safety card. Honestly, I think throughout this entire time, I always wanted a Boeing 787 safety card for a long time. And given the fact I have not flown on a Dreamliner yet, I do want to get a safety card of one. So yeah, here is the United Airlines. So of course, this is the safety card of my favorite airline and my favorite aircraft. So as you can see, as I turn the pages, you can see some really great illustrations depicting the safety features, like how to put on your life vest, the emergency exits, all the various brace positions, and your seat belts, and how to open the emergency exit door. Looking very nice right there. They also feature some different languages as well. The illustration looks very nice on this. And then you can see another side right there. It shows you how to put on the seat belt, oxygen mask, and all the various like carry-on items and how it's being stored. Here is the back side. I'm not sure what year this came out, but this kind of looks like this is coming from the Evil Blue era. So kind of like around that 2019 and like beyond, I gotta say. But I think this is different. I think the ones I have from my Denver flights, I think those are different. So I assume this may have come out around 2019 or 2021. I'm not really quite sure on the dates on the safety cards, but it's really awesome to finally have a United Airlines 787 safety card right there. But this is just for the Dash 8 and Dash 9. I might try to look for some other revisions of this particular aircraft, but only time will tell unless I fly on a United 787. But overall, that's it for the United Airlines memorabilia haul. Really glad to have these for my memorabilia collection, and overall, these are really nice assets. Of course, me collecting my favorite airline is kind of like one of my things I like to do whenever I go to these collectible shows. And overall, these assets are really nice, from all the retro stuff to the modern stuff. These are really good assets for that collection. So that's it for the entire memorabilia haul for this video. So really nice memorabilia stuff I got from the SFO One Day Show for March, and I'm really glad to pick these up. So without being said, I do want to line up all of the memorabilia items I got. Well, not really exactly all. I gotta say, I just gotta pick my favorites. So I'm gonna pick my favorite memorabilia haul, like memorabilia items from that show, and we're gonna conclude this video from here. So without being said, let's move into the conclusion. And here are all the aviation memorabilia items I got from the San Francisco One Day Collectible Show on March 8th, 2025. I'll say I got plethora of memorabilia items from this one day show, and overall I'm really glad to have these picks. And yeah, a bunch of memorabilia items. Of course, I also got some models as well, but that'll be coming up in the next video for this collectible show. But let's give you guys a rundown on all of these memorabilia items. So, as you can see, we got my postcards right there. All the various postcards I got from Delta Planes, Hughes Airways, PSA, there's only one PSA, and some international airlines as well, and some miscellaneous. There is my Hughes Airways DC-9 postcard right there. Next up, we do have the one-way ticket for the San Francisco cable cars right there from United Airlines, and you can also see some business cards right there. So these are all the business cards from JoJo's Airline Emporium, and plainly speaking, there's some of the paper prints right there from Hawaiian and North Central Airlines right there. Once again, JJ Aviation, I'll be giving that to you. And of course, for myself, I got my Hawaiian Airlines paper print right there. Here is Aviation on the Radar and Cali Planes' logos right there. Of course, they were there during the collectible show, so really nice to get these items from them. Speaking of that, we also got Gary the Gopher stickers right there. So of course, Cali Planes. If you guys know like the references, if you watch Cali Planes, then you'll probably know who Gary the Gopher is. And then over here you got all the flyers right there. So you got the Airlines International 2025 flyer in Atlanta. You got the next SFO show, which will be held on September 20th, 2025. And then you got the LA Airline Collectable Show on August 16th of 2025. Here is the World Airline Historical Society flyer right there. Of course, I think this could be a similar one, like it might be similar to the one I have already, so there's that. There's also Cali Plains' lanyard right there, and then the United Airlines cap right there. And kind of like rounding it all off, we have the United Airlines butter bowl right there for $4. Kind of miscellaneous, but kind of like for outside things other than aviation. And last but not least, we have the United Airlines 787-8-9 safety card. Now, I kind of like was mistaken from the previous clip, as I actually do have a United 787 safety card already. That one I got from the previous SFO show, but this is just a different style. So these are like two different styles. So this one in particular, I'm not sure when this came out, but the previous one, I think that's more of like the current safety cars for United, but this could be a previous one. So there are features on the 788H and 78P. So this is like the United Airlines safety card. I'm not sure when this came out, but it came out before the current one from what I can understand. So that's it for the United, all the various like, not really United Airlines, but all the various like memorabilia items from the SFO one-day show. So great haul right there. I know we are at over 40 minutes into the video, but yeah, I got a bunch of memorabilia items, I gotta say. But overall, I'm just super excited for the model unboxing portion from this one-day show, and kind of like similar to this one, but more on models. But yeah, really glad to have these for all of my memorabilia collection. Of course, mostly on postcards, but I also got some extra stuff right there for flyers, miscellaneous, and a whole lot more, and safety cards. So looking forward to premiere the mass unboxing from the SFO one-day show, which will go over all the models that I got from the San Francisco show. So I'm super excited to premiere that, and hopefully I can premiere that one, well, as of this upload date, hopefully I can try to premiere that somewhere around July. So I'm looking forward to premiering that model unboxing, or that mass unboxing. But we got the memorabilia haul done, and I'm looking forward to see what's to come for the next SFO one-day show. Once again, mark your calendars. September 20th is the next San Francisco one-day show. That'll be the fall show. So, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a new upload from me anytime soon. And if you want to see more of my playlist from the SFO show, then you can click on that. Currently I have one, but I think there might be more to come within the next couple of days or months or so. So, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Also, I will have to rearrange those laptops, I gotta say, because like the reason why I had those right here is because of this video. So yeah. But anyways, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.